welcome to Glitter Goddess Yoga. I'm Trent, and today we'll be doing a restorative, grounded flow. Uh, there's a few things before we get into that. So if you have water, keep that by you for hydration. You want to stay hydrated. If you have any props like pillows, cushions that you'd like to tag along with in your practice today, feel free to do so. Um, if anything doesn't feel part of your practice today, feel free to take a child's pose, or feel free to take a step away, do your own thing. At sometimes if that feels right for you or your body this morning, feel free to do whatever you feel called to do. But other than that, yeah, we can get started. Everyone's feeling nice and bright today. You got a blanket. Okay. So sit in your comfortable seat. If you want to have your blanket or your pillows under you as you sit, feel free to do so. Blankets under my knees. So come into a comfortable seat, sitting up nice and tall, spine reaching nice and long, engaging with your breath, inhaling, exhaling, big inhale, big exhale, relaxing the shoulders, chest lifted nice and high. Get in tune with our breath. And on your last exhale, we're slowly gonna drop the head towards the right side, excuse me. Stretching the left sides of our neck. Engaging with the left side, breathing through your stretch here. And slowly with control, you're gently gonna bring the head back to center. And gently drop it to the left side. Stretching the right sides of our neck. Breathing through our stretch here. Breathing through our sensations. And slowly with control, rolling the chin towards the chest. Stretching the backs of our neck. And slowly rolling the head all the way around. Opening up the throat, engaging with the muscles in the neck. Breathing through your sensations here. And when you're ready, Rotating the head in the other direction, engaging with the muscles in our neck. And slowly rotating your head back to center. And we're just gently going to roll the shoulders back, opening up the chest, opening up the throat. And from here, slowly bringing your rotation to stillness. We're just going to open up the arms wide. We're going to cross over, right over left, bending the left arm, dropping the right shoulder, bringing the right arm as close to us as possible, relaxing the palms. If you want to go for eagle arms, if you feel called to go into a challenge, going into eagle arms. So bending the right arm, clasping both hands together. Inhaling to rise up both the arms, or forearms. Exhale to push the hands away from the face of the head. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to push away. On your last exhale, you can release, open up the arms wide. And we're going to cross over, left over right. Bending the right arm, dropping the left shoulder. Bringing the left arm as close to you as possible. Engaging with your stretch here. Breathing into the left shoulder. And if you feel called for a challenge today, feel free to go into eagle arms. So if your arms are here, you want to bend them both. Grab each other's palms or wrists. Inhaling to lift up the forearms and the elbows. Exhale to push the hands away from the head or face. And then your last exhale, you can release. Open up the arms wide. We're just going to bring the arms out in front of us, reaching out long. And we're just going to rotate the wrist, warming up the wrist. And reverse your rotation, go in the other direction. And from here, we're going to flip the palms, forearms facing out, fingers facing us, planting the hands into the floor, engaging with the wrists over forearms. Breathe into your sensations here as well. Feel free to add some heat to the forearms, ease up on the tension. And from here, we're going to flip the palms, back of the palm facing into the floor, engaging with the wrists, still engaging with the forearms, opening and closing the palms, creating a fist, engaging with the wrist. From here, we're going to flip the palms once more, stretching the forearms out. Your last exhale, you can release, giving the wrist a little shake, or bring them together for a figure eight, whichever you choose to use. All right. Now, if you don't have any cushions under your knees, I recommend you put some cushion under there for some support. So coming onto our knees, we're going to slide our hands down our lower back like we're trying to put our hands into our back pockets. So kind of like this. Coming in this position here, we're in camel. So inhaling, lifting the chest up as high as we can, and slowly lowering down, going as far as you can. Breathing through your sensations here. Being mindful of the breath. We don't want to tilt the head back too much. We're really using our back to arch. Engaging with the lower back. Really crushing in, like if we have back pockets in our lower back. Going as far as you can go. And when you're ready, you can release. Lowering down into child's pose. Bringing big toes to touch. You can keep your knees where they are, or you can come to a wide stance into your child's pose. So coming like this, or keeping the knees close together. Line your pelvis and your belly on top of your thighs. Stretch it out long. And still keeping your child's pose here. We're just gently going to crawl both hands over to the right side. Stretching the left side body. Breathing through the whole left side. Being mindful of the breath. And on your last exhale, when you're ready, crawling both hands over to the left side, stretching the right side body, breathing through your stretch. And on your last exhale, crawling the hands down the center and adjusting your child's pose. So if you want to bring your knees closer together or even widen your stance, this is the time to do so. If you want to adjust your props for your knees, feel free to do so as well. And slowly, with control, coming out of your child's pose, we're going to slowly make our way onto all fours, coming to tabletop. When you're ready, still having some props for your knees if that feels comfortable for you. I have my blanket to protect my knees. If you choose your pillow, that is also fine as well. Just having some support and comfort for your limbs and ligaments. We're coming out to all fours, hips stacked above the knees, shoulders stacked above the wrists. And from here, inhaling, arching the back, engaging with the lower back, slight lift of the head or chin for cow. Exhaling, pushing up with the upper back, pushing to the floor for cat. Inhaling, arching the lower back, slight lift of the chin, pushing into the floor for cow. Exhaling, pushing to the floor, pushing to the upper back for cat. And I'll turn myself so you can see how my cat-cow looks from the side. Inhaling, arching the back, slight lift of the chin. Exhale, pushing to the upper back. And slowly bringing your last cat or cow to stillness, bringing the spine back to neutral. I'm going to switch over, bringing myself back to facing the screen. Coming back to all fours, we're just going to rise the right arm up, opening up the right side. Feeling strong here. Keeping the hips where they are, we're going to dive the right arm down under the left arm, dropping the right shoulder into the floor. Breathing through your stretch here. And slowly bringing your way back to all fours. Feel free to stop and take a sip of water anytime you feel called. We're coming back to all fours. We're going to do the same on the other side. So rising up the left arm, opening up the left side, being mindful of the breath, keeping the hips where they are. We're just going to dive the left arm onto the right, dropping the left shoulder into the floor. And breathing through this sensation here. Breathing through your stretch. And slowly, coming out of your last exhale, we'll slowly make our way back at the tabletop. Coming back to all fours. We're just going to extend the left leg long, keeping the right knee bent, but tucking the back toes of the left leg. And we're going to pulsate that left ankle, engaging with the Achilles, engaging with the toes, the left foot, the calves. And then bringing this left leg back to meet the right. We're going to extend the right leg long, keeping the left knee bent, tucking the back toes of the right leg. And we're going to pulsate that right ankle, engaging with the toes, engaging with the Achilles, with the calves. And with control, we're going to extend the left leg, meeting it with the right, and going into your high plank. So for modification, if you want to bring knees to the mat and keep your core extended, you can do so. Or coming to all fours, excuse me, coming to your plank or holding down to the forearms for a modification. And if you drop your knees to the floor as well, still keeping the core tight, feel free to add some props under your knees, blankets or pillow. That feels good for you. But feeling strong here in your plank, engaging with the core, being mindful of the breath. And slowly, with control, we're going to lower our body down to the floor or your mat. I'm just going to adjust myself here. Extending the right arm out long, keeping the left arm tucked near the armpits or pillared by the armpits, elbows facing towards the sky. Rising up the left leg, we're going to place that left leg over into our back space. Breathing into your twist here. And on your last exhale, we'll slowly bring that left leg back to meet the right. And you can release that right arm as well, tucking the right palm near the armpit, pillaring that arm, right elbow facing towards the sky or facing back, extending the left arm out long. We're going to rise up the right leg, and we're going to push it over into our left back space. Breathing through your stretch. Being mindful of the breath. And slowly bringing that right leg back to meet the left. We're going to bring this left arm back towards the body. We're going to tuck both of the palms slightly on the outskirts of the armpits, near the upper chest, and pushing it into the ground, rising up the chest for Cobra or Up Dog or Baby Cobra. Doing whatever feel calls for you, for your body. Those are the three options here. And slowly, with control, lowering the body back towards the floor or your mat. And with control, slowly rising up the head, chin, chest, chaturanga, for Up Dog or Cobra. Tucking the back toes, we're going to rise up the knees off the floor, pushing the hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Feel free to keep a slight micro bend in the knees, paddle the feet. And slowly with control, walking the hands towards the feet. Slight micro bend in the knees, hanging heavy here. Belly on top of thighs. And slowly with control, rising all the way up to standing. And when you reach standing, slowly rolling the shoulders back, opening up the chest, opening up the throat. And slowly bringing your rotation to stillness. Palms open up by our side for mountain pose. Feeling strong. Feeling grounded. Being mindful of the breath. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling, rising the arms up above our heads. Extended mountain pose. Exhaling, swan diving all the way down to a forward fold. Inhaling, crushing on the shins for flat back. Exhaling for forward fold. Inhaling, pressing on the shins. Exhaling, bending the knees, belly on top of thighs. Shaking the head no. Nodding the head yes. Inhaling, straightening the legs. Exhaling, bending the knees, belly on top of thighs. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend, belly on top of thighs. Planting the palms to the floor. We're going to walk the hands into your plank. So if that means bringing the knees down into your plank, or coming down to all fours. With coming to your plank, feeling strong, engaging with the core. Feeling strong here. And with control, we're slowly going to lower down towards the floor. Chaturanga. Rising up into Up Dog or Cobra. Engaging with the lower back. tucking the back toes, rising the hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Slight micro bend in the knees, feel free to pedal the feet. And from here, we're going to float that left knee. And we're going to bring that left knee towards the chest, floating it up towards the chest, and planting the foot into the floor. You could lower down that left knee into the floor. If you have any pillows or cushions you would like to support this left knee, feel free to do so at this time. Once you add or supply cushion, coming back here to the lunge, making sure we're stacked, knees stacked above the ankle, back leg reaching nice and long. And when you feel ready, coming up to a high lunge, placing both palms on top of the thigh, opening up the chest, opening up the throat. Breathing through your sensations here in the thighs. Now your last exhale, releasing that left palm into the floor. We're going to rise up the right arm for a twist here. Breathing through your sensations. And on your last exhale, we're going to rotate this right arm down, framing the right foot. We're going to lift this left leg off the mat or the floor. And we're going to rotate that back ankle down into the floor, bursting open into Warrior Two. Making sure we're stacked. Knees stacked above the ankle. Left leg reaching up nice and long. And I'm just turning myself so you guys can see what I look like. The other side. Coming into Warrior Two, flipping the front palm, reaching forward, up and back. Breathing through the whole right side. And leading with the right elbow, we're going to rotate, resting that right elbow on the thigh and stretching the whole left side body. And on your last exhale, you can release, framing this right foot, coming back down into this little lunge. We're going to bring this right foot back to meet the left, and you can push your hips up and back for another downward facing dog. Pedaling the feet. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So floating that left knee, we're going to float that left knee towards the chest. And planting that left foot between the palms. You can lower down that right knee to the floor. Excuse me, let me just adjust myself on the other side. Making sure we're stacked. Left knee stacked above the left ankle. Right leg reaching nice and back. If you have some support, cushions or pillows, feel free to use that to support the right knee. And feeling strong here, rising up into a high lunge, placing the palms on the thigh, opening up the chest, opening up the throat. Feeling strong here in your high lunge. Breathing through your sensations here, being mindful of the breath. And on your last exhale, dropping that right palm in here to frame the left foot. And we're going to rise up the left arm for a twist on the other side. Breathe into your sensations here. Feeling strong here. On your last exhale, we're going to rotate this left palm down to frame the left foot. And we're going to rise that right knee off the floor or your mat, rotating that ankle down into the floor. Bursting open into Warrior Two on the other side. So making sure we're nice and stacked, making sure we're good. Knee stacked over the ankle, back leg reaching nice and long, arms by our side. Flipping the front palm, we're going to reach forward, up and back. Breathing into the whole left side. And leading with the left arm, we're going to rotate, resting that left arm on the left thigh, and stretching the right side up and over. Stretching the whole right side body. Breathe into your sensations here. And slowly lowering down towards the floor, framing this left foot once more. Bringing this left foot back to meet the right, going to your high plank. And you can push the hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Pedal the feet. Bend your knees. And slowly with control, we're just going to lower the knees towards the mat or the floor. And pushing the hips down and back for a nice child's pose here. And however you want to get there, we'll slowly make our way towards our sits bones. Feel free to also use this time to take a sip of water. Coming to our sits bones, tucking in the left leg, and stretching the right leg out long. So from here, sitting up nice and tall, spine reaching nice and long, right leg stretching out nice and long, crawling the hands down the left leg, grabbing the shin or the foot, hinging at the hips, using your breath as a guide to lower your chest closer and closer towards your leg. And whenever you feel called to round your spine, feel free to do so at any time. Being mindful of the breath. And slowly rising up, bringing the spine back to center. With the right palm, we're going to reach over, grabbing the left knee, left arm, reaching up and over. And we're going to stretch the whole left side. Engaging with the whole left side, breathing through your sensations. And releasing, bringing the spine back to neutral. You can release the left leg. And we're going to tuck in the right and do the same on the right side. So tucking in the right leg, spine reaching nice and tall. Crawling the hands down, the left leg, grabbing the shin or the foot. hinging at the hips, using your breath as a guide to lower your chest closer and closer to your leg. And on your last exhale, slowly bring the spine back to center. With the left palm, we're gonna grab the right knee, rising up the right arm, and reaching up and over, stretching the right side body, breathing through your stretch here. And on your last exhale, you can release, bringing the spine back to center, releasing the right leg. And we're gonna bend both knees, planting both feet into the floor, knees facing towards the sky, arms reaching up nice and long. And with control, we're slowly gonna lower ourselves back towards the floor without straightening our legs, using our core to lower ourselves towards the floor. And once you reach the floor, giving the knees a gentle rock from side to side. And slowly bringing your rock into stillness. Planting the feet back into the floor, knees facing towards the sky. We're just gonna open up our knees, bringing the big feet to touch, bringing our feet to touch like a prayer. Opening up the thighs for incline butterfly. And if you have two cushions or two pillows, you can feel free to fold them or fluff them and place each cushion under each side of your thigh. So one here and one here, if that feels comfortable for you. Or placing a pillow or a blanket under your lower back. Being mindful of the breath. And slowly, with control, we're going to rise up the hips and the legs into the air, grabbing the outsides of our feet for happy baby. And feel free to give yourself a gentle sway from side to side if that feels nice for you. And from here, with control, curling up into a little ball, bringing the knees towards the belly or the chest. With control, slowly lowering your knees towards the floor. Inhaling what you need, exhaling what you don't. Wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, bringing some movement back to the body. rolling to the right or left side, curling up in a fetal position for a moment of comfort, and then pushing up into a seated position to close for 4 breaths. When you're ready, coming to a seated position, sitting in your comfy seat. Bringing the palms to heart center. Place both hands on top of the heart, or rest both palms on top of the knees or on top of the thighs. A breath for our ancestors and the indigenous people who was here before colonization. Breathing in. A breath to thank yourself for your practice today. Breathing in. A breath to thank others for their support. Breathing in. And a breath for our virtual yoga community. A breath for everyone's mortal well-being. Breathing in. The loving human in me bows down to the loving human in you. Namaste. And thank you for joining me today in Restorative Grounded Flow. Also, I just wanted to apologize real fast that I was using the Glitter Goddess account and not the library account. So today's flow was supposed to be on the library's account. And that was my mistake for not noticing that mistake until at least around towards the ending. So I apologize for that and try to get the video onto the library's page as well. So there will possibly be 2 videos out, one for Glitter Goddesses and one for the library. That was my mistake. So I apologize for that. So a few announcements before we end. So the Glitter Goddesses like to offer community yoga each week, Tuesdays at 4:30 p.m. and Fridays at 10 a.m. Thanks to the Providence Community Libraries for making this class happen. So shouts out to those guys. And we have Venmo for the Glitter Goddesses. You can Venmo us there. All donations go to future practices for the House of Glitter. And the House of Glitter Performance Collab or Performance Lab. So yeah, just if you feel like donating to us, you can donate at us at Glitter Goddesses at Venmo. So again, thank you for practicing with me today, and I apologize for the misconception of the video being on the Glitter Goddess page and not the library page. So thank you again, and I'll see you guys next week.